Welcome you all on this platform. The name of this platform is One Mark Solution, and as you know that regularly on this platform we are conducting subjective webinar session for objective type questions. Objective type questions includes multiple choice questions, fill up questions, true false questions, assertion region questions, and all other questions which can be asked in 1 marks by CBSE.
So I can't hear you. Your audio is not available. Sir, I can't hear you. So can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
But your audio was
Dear
not.
friends, as you know, yes, I hope now it's coming.
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I welcome you all on this platform that is One Mark Solution. And as you know, regularly we are conducting webinars on this platform for the subjective webinars, especially for the OTQs. OTQs means objective type questions that includes multiple choice questions, fill up questions, true false questions, one word questions, assertion region questions, match the column question, and other 1 mark questions, other type of 1 mark question which is being asked by the CBSE. So, dear friends, today we are going to discuss about the health and disease chapter from class 12 biology. And today we have uh, with us Madam G. Kanchana ji from Salem, Tamil Nadu. Madam, I welcome you on behalf of 1 mark Solution, as on behalf of
Yes.
all our viewers and those who are joining us, those who are watching this video, kindly subscribe the channel because you will get all type of 1 mark question solution on this platform from all the chapters and all the subjects from class 6 to 12. I would not take much time. I would like to request all the viewers kindly subscribe the channel and stay tuned with us. In the last of the session, we will share the feedback form in the live chat box so that you can get a certificate in your email ID. Kindly put the correct email ID. So today we will discuss about the health and disease chapter from class 12 biology. Madam Kanchana, I am handing over to you. Kindly proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having given me this opportunity, sir. So, children, hope you people are preparing for your board exams, and these particular one words which we are going to share will be useful for your exams, okay, to face it confidently. So, today the lesson that we are going to concentrate is human health and disease, okay, which is chapter 8. We very well know that for the disease to be caused, there are certain factors. Okay, so in among them, what are the important things? If we see, genetic disorders also do play a role, and then we also have infections. Okay, so infections also cause diseases, and diseases can also be caused due to the lifestyle. So we are going to see about those things. So in this lesson, the things, the topics, and the subtopics which are going to be included are the one which I have shared. Okay, so we'll be seeing about pathogens. Okay, so the organisms which are responsible to cause the disease in human beings and also in the other living organisms. Then about the parasites. Okay, so these parasites, we know that they will harm the particular host in which they are lodging or in which they are present. Okay, so about the parasites causing human diseases, and under this we are going to see about certain pathogenic diseases like that of the malaria, dengue, chikungunya, filariasis, ascariasis, typhoid, pneumonia, common cold, amoebiasis, ringworm, etc. Okay, and we have also revised how these can be controlled. Okay, how these pathogenic diseases can be controlled, like what are the measures that we have to take to control these diseases. Then we'll also be seeing about the basic concepts of immunology, where we discuss about vaccines. Okay, what is vaccination and also immunization is what we have seen. So under that we'll be seeing certain one words. Then also about the disease like cancer, HIV. Okay, so these are the things to be seen in this lesson. Then the general factors like adolescence, and where we'll be discussing about drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, so as we have revised these things, we'll be seeing the same one word from these topics. So in part 1, we'll be seeing about the multiple choice questions. So this is the one which you're going to face for your board exam and also for your competitive exams. So it has to be given cat. So we'll see the first one, the disease affecting the lungs. Okay, so which is the disease affecting the lungs among the options that is given? Okay, so they have given typhoid, cholera, pneumonia, and psoriasis. So we know that pneumonia is the answer. Okay, so typhoid, cholera, and psoriasis, it does not suit the question because always, as I have already told in the last presentation, we have to give importance to the one which is very much suitable to the question. So it will be the pneumonia. And we know that this psoriasis and all, it is the disease caused in skin, and also about the cholera which affects the intestine, etc. So the answer is pneumonia. Next one, lips and fingernails turn gray to bluish in color in the following disease. So in the given diseases, in which of the disease the lips and the fingernails turn gray to bluish in color? Okay, that is the one that we have to find out. So we very well know about the other diseases like tuberculosis. It is going to cause the infection by causing cough and all. Okay, so that one will not be the answer. Similarly, malaria is also having various other symptoms like that of the sickness and also the fever, chills and all. And we know about dengue too. So the answer is going to be pneumonia. Next question. The following are bacterial diseases in man. Okay, so they have given certain diseases like trichodermia, epidermophyton, and name of the diseases which is caused by bacteria is what we have to find out. So we know about the various diseases which is caused by various microorganisms like bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, etc. Okay, so now we have to find out among these which one is the one which causes bacterial diseases. Okay, when we see the name trichoderma and epidermophyton, we can find that as being the disease caused by fungi. Okay, and the one which is given as amoebiasis, filariasis also, it is caused by protozoa and also helminthes. So the answer is going to be dysentery and plague, okay, which is caused by the bacterium. So that is the answer. Next question, the dash viruses represent group of viruses which cause common cold. Okay, so among these, if you see, there are some of the names of the viruses, like you know that the rhinovirus is the answer because the virus like rhabdovirus, it's going to cause the disease called as rabies and all. Okay, so we are going to avoid out this rhabdovirus and myxovirus, which is not responsible for this common cold. Okay, so the answer is rhinovirus. Okay, so it is this group of viruses which cause common cold. The protozoan responsible for malaria is dash. Okay, so in this lesson we are seeing about malaria, which is one of the very important disease that we have to know too. Okay, so there we have come across the life cycle of the organism, that is the pathogen too. So as far as malaria is considered, we know very well that this particular protozoa called as Plasmodium is responsible for causing this disease. Okay, and it also needs two hosts, okay, like that of the human being and also the mosquito for completing its life cycle. And automatically, by learning all the particular infectious cycle of this organism and also the host where it can have its life cycle completed, we know very well that the answer is going to be Plasmodium. Okay, and we can also avoid out the other things like entamoeba and paramecium. They cause various other diseases. Okay, entamoeba causes amoebiasis, and this Wuchereria also, it is one of the filarial thing. Okay, so it causes filariasis. So very well, you can find out the correct answer as Plasmodium. Okay, so this is the protozoan which is responsible for malaria. So the answer is Plasmodium. Okay. So since just now I told that we have already read about malaria, we know the various forms of malaria too. So the malignant malaria, it is caused by which one of these species? Okay, so as we are concerned about the particular species of that of the Plasmodium genus, there are various species like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum, and also Plasmodium ovale. And among this, if you see, Plasmodium falciparum is the one which causes fatality. Okay, the case is going to be fatal in case of malignant malaria because of this protozoan called as Plasmodium falciparum. So the answer is Plasmodium falciparum. Yeah, to next to see about the reasons for the thing which is going to give good health. Okay, the factors which are not necessary to maintain good health or what. Okay, so among these we have to analyze which is the factor which is not necessary to maintain good health. Okay, so I've always told you to be careful when the word not is being given in the question. Okay, so automatically we'll be choosing the one which is going to be the right answer. So balanced diet, personal hygiene, and regular exercise. Okay, all these three components are necessary for an individual to maintain good health. So the answer, that is the factor which is not necessary to maintain good health, is going to be this physiotherapy. Okay, so the answer is physiotherapy. Okay, the bacteria causing pneumonia are dash and dash. Okay, so we have to find out. We come across various other species, okay, in bacterium. So we have to find out which particular bacterium it causes pneumonia. Okay, so this Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, or even the other one. Okay, it causes various kinds of other infections like fever and all. So the one which causes pneumonia is going to be Streptococcus and Haemophilus. Okay, so this one, Haemophilus and Streptococcus is the answer. Now, which is the vector for malaria? Okay, so as I told you, there are various other vectors which cause a particular infection. So vector is the particular agent which is able to carry the particular infectious agent to the other host, or which spreads the particular organism which is responsible for the infection. So if you see, for malaria, the vector is going to be mosquito, as all of us know. Okay, and in that category, we know it is the Anopheles mosquito. And the other ones are the wrong answers. So you have to choose mosquito as the vector for malaria. So this mosquito, Anopheles mosquito, it is not only the one which is acting as the particular host for this pathogen Plasmodium, it is also going to be as the vector for causing malaria. So the answer is mosquito. Next one, they've asked the causative agent of amoebiasis. Okay, so as I already told you, you're very thorough with all these things. You know very well this first one, Entamoeba histolytica, it causes amoebiasis, and Wuchereria bancrofti, it causes filariasis, and Bacillus anthracis too, it is a disease which is caused because of a bacterium. So if you see, the answer is going to be, so Plasmodium falciparum also, it causes malaria. So the answer for the question is Entamoeba histolytica. As we told that this is the organism that causes amoebiasis. Okay, it is one of the protozoum causing the amoebiasis disease. So the answer is Entamoeba histolytica. Okay. Then they have asked which is the common roundworm. Okay, which is very simple. As we know, the common roundworm is called as Ascaris. Okay, just now we saw about the other organism like Entamoeba and all. It causes amoebiasis. So the roundworm, which they have asked here in the question is Ascaris. So elephantiasis is caused by what? Okay, so as we know that elephantiasis is a particular disease which is caused by a filarial worm. Okay, so the answer is going to be Ucheridia. Okay, so this is the organism which causes elephantiasis. Okay, so the answer is Ucheridia. Next, the infectious form of Plasmodium. Okay, so in order to know the infectious form of Plasmodium, we have to know the various details of the life cycle of the organism, how it is having its life cycle. So you very well know that when a particular human being, okay, he is being already infected with malaria, in his liver these particular parasites will lodge and it will multiply. Okay, then it will also be spread to the RBCs and all, and when it is getting broken up and when the substance called as hemazoin it is being released, it's going to be the one which is going causing infection like chills and all. Okay, in the particular human which is in the toxic form. So then if you see when this particular organism is multiplying inside the human, by taking the human as a host, when the mosquito, okay, when the anopheles mosquito, it is going to bite this infected person, then the particular Plasmodium organism, which is the protozoa, it gets spreads. Okay, it is reaching the mosquito, and then there again it will be having the mosquito as the host. Okay, so we know that Plasmodium is having two hosts. So in the mosquito, it is getting lodged again and it causes the infection into, but it is spreading. Okay, it is being present in the gut, and again as in the form of gametocytes and all, it will be forming the multiplied form. Then it will get lodged in the salivary gland of the mosquito. There it will be forming this sporocytes. Okay, so now you come to know that this is one of the infectious form of the Plasmodium. Again, when this mosquito, which is containing this form, that is the sporocytes of the protozoa, when it bites a healthy human being, the same malarial disease will be caused. Okay, since it is spreading the particular sporocytes, okay, the form of the Plasmodium into a healthy human being by lodging the particular organism, that is the protozoan Plasmodium, into the healthy human and thus causing the malaria. Okay, so the answer is going to be the sporocytes. Okay, so now we very well know that the malarial parasite requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. Okay, so that is the next question. Malarial parasite requires how many hosts? It requires two hosts. So the other things are the wrong answers, and we know that the hosts are the human being and the mosquito. So the answer is two hosts to complete its life cycle. Next one of the common fungal disease caused in man, okay, by epidermophyton is what? Okay, so that is the question. So the other diseases given here like teniasis, scabies and all, it causes various other diseases. So the answer is ringworm. Okay, so ringworm is the common fungal disease which is caused in man, okay, by epidermophyton. So one of the following is not a genera of the fungi. So as I told you, they're asking the one among the following which is not a genera of the fungi. So we know that epidermophyton, microsporum and trichophyton, these are all the genera of the fungi. And so the answer is Mycobacterium. Okay, so this Mycobacterium, it is a genus of Mycobacterium tubercle and also Mycobacterium leprae, which causes tuberculosis and leprosy respectively. So the answer is going to be this Mycobacterium. Okay, this is not the genera of fungi is the answer. So see here, the Mycobacterium is the answer. Then ringworms. Okay, so they are acquired from which particular substance? Okay, ringworms are generally acquired from which one of these? Okay, water or air or soil or all of them. So that is the question, and we very well know that ringworms are generally acquired from soil. Okay, so that is the answer. Then the infectious agents are transmitted through contaminated food and water in diseases listed below. Okay, so infectious agents are transmitted through which particular contaminated food and water in which disease? Okay, listed below. Okay, so the options are the ringworm, typhoid, rabies, and the plague. And we know that the infectious agents are transmitted through contaminated food and water. Okay, this is the word that you have to notice carefully. So the answer is going to be typhoid. Okay, so typhoid, it is being transmitted through contaminated food and also water. Okay, so that is the answer. And for the other one, we know the reasons that it is not the one which is going to form the answer. So it is typhoid. Okay, so the next question, from the given options, we have to find out the diseases which are airborne. Okay, so here the diseases which are airborne, under that it will be pneumonia. Okay, pneumonia is the answer. The other diseases like typhoid or even malaria and pertussis, we know that it spreads through various other factors. Okay, here pneumonia is the answer. Okay. Then which kind of fishes feed on mosquito larvae? Okay, so they have given the name of certain fishes and the fishes which feed on mosquito larvae. Okay, the one of the control agent also. Okay, so this one, it is a people, they are using this particular fish in order to control this mosquito larvae, and the name of the fish is Gambusia. Okay, so the answer is Gambusia. So this is the one. This is the category of the fish that feeds on mosquito larvae, and thus it is being helpful, okay, in eradicating that particular mosquitoes which are being or which are growing in that stagnant water and all. Okay, so then the particular kind of disease called as dengue. Okay, so we very well know that it is also spreading through a kind of mosquito only. Okay, so that is the vector in case of dengue too. So the vector for dengue is the Aedes mosquito. Okay, so we know various kinds of things. The other thing given as say fly is a kind of fly, and we also know that bats is not the one which causes dengue. So the vector which is the being as the causative one to cause this dengue disease is Aedes mosquito. Then the diseases like smallpox were eradicated by using what? Okay, so they have given drugs, vaccines, steroids, and also therapy. So if you see smallpox, it is a particular kind of infection which is caused by virus. Okay, so we very well know that for viral diseases, it can be eradicated only by using vaccines. Okay, all these other things which is given like drugs, steroids, and therapy, it won't be applicable to eradicate it. Okay, so the right answer is vaccines. So we have completed the MCQs. Now in the part 2, we are going to deal with the fill up the blanks. Okay, as far as the fill up the blanks are considered, we have to be very careful because we have to give the specific answer correctly. So the first question, the overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organisms is dash. So what is the overall ability of the host to fight against the disease causing organism? Okay, so in this lesson, the apt topic that we can give as an answer for this question is immunity. Okay, so this is the one, immunity is the one that is being as the overall ability of the host. It is also making the host to fight against the disease causing organisms by giving immunity, okay, which is caused by our immune system which is present in our body. Next one, which is an example of infectious disease. Okay, so the best example of an infectious disease that they have cited in our book, as we know, is AIDS. Okay, so AIDS is a example of infectious disease. Okay, as I told you already, we have seen about various diseases or even disorders. It can be caused of because of various other factors. You know that genetic disorders are being caused, or it is being present in an individual from birth itself. That is, they get it from their parents. Okay, because of that gene, you know it very well. So the best example, other things as we saw are also diseases which is caused to infections and all, and there are also lifestyle disorders or diseases. So the apt answer for this one, for infectious diseases, AIDS. Okay, so whenever we talk about an infectious diseases, a particular organism is able to cause this. It might be the pathogen, which can be also a parasite. So the answer is AIDS. So among non-infectious diseases, if we see, so we can very well differentiate the diseases into infectious and non-infectious one. So among the non-infectious disease, which one is the major cause of death? Okay, according to the statistical data that you know and that you have come across in this lesson, we can very well tell that it is cancer. Okay, so cancer is being one of the major cause of death. Okay, and it is also one which is considered or which comes under non-infectious disease. Okay, then what are the or what is the term that is given to denote disease causing organisms? Okay, so this is a very simple one. They are called as pathogens. Okay, so pathogens are the disease causing organisms. So we have to tell the causative agents. We are coming across various kinds of diseases, children. So under that, we are, as I already told you, we are seeing about various categories. Okay, as far as microorganisms are considered, we are seeing about bacteria or even virus, protozoa, helminths, etc. So they have clearly given that the pathogenic bacterium which causes typhoid. So since we very well know what is the kind of disease and what are the symptoms that is caused by the disease, okay, we also have to know which is the particular organism that is causing the disease. Okay, so whenever you come across a disease, you read it, you have to remember the organism which spreads the disease to. So here the causative agent for causing the pathogenic disease called as typhoid is known as the Salmonella typhi. Okay, so that is the answer. Salmonella is the genus and typhi is the species. So typhoid is caused by this particular organism. So then the pathogens that harm the host by living in them are called as what? Okay, so we know the various category. We have seen about various mutual relationships and also the other symbiotic relationships. And in that, if you see the pathogen which lodges inside a host, it can be an animal or a human being or any other organism like plants too. So the pathogen which is harming the host by being present in the host, okay, they are called as parasites. Okay, because they harm the host by living in them. Okay, so we have to remember this. Okay. Now, if a particular human being is getting acquired with a particular disease, we have to detect that disease or even we have to diagnose that disease. So for detecting and diagnosing various other diseases, the clinicians, they are using various other tests. Okay, even if you you want to diagnose a particular disease, then the particular respective sample will be collected in the labs and all, like the microbiological or even the biochemical test will be performed over there. For each and every particular test, we have a particular disease, we have a particular specific test. Okay, that test will be finding out the disease absolutely. So the test which is used to confirm typhoid is called as what? Okay, so we have to recall that it is the Widal test. Okay, so this is the test. And you also know about various other diseases where various other biochemical tests are done. For example, even to detect the disease like AIDS and all, we are going in for tests like ELISA. So here, as the question is being asked, which is the one which is used to confirm typhoid is Widal. Okay. So when we come to know about each and every diseases, we should also know about the disease, how it spread, what was the particular factor that was responsible to cause the diseases, etc. So the typhoid carrier who continued to spread typhoid for several years through food that she prepared is who? Okay, so we have to tell the name of that particular person who was responsible, okay, to spread this particular disease called as typhoid for several years, okay, through the contaminated food. So the name of the person is Mary Mallon. Okay, so whenever you read about a particular disease or even a concept, the scientist or the name of the persons who are being connected with that is what also you have to remember. Okay, so in biology, it is also a very important factor. So the name is Mary Mallon. Okay, so she was the one who was responsible for keeping on being as a carrier, okay, who continued to spread the typhoid disease. Next, the scientist who developed basmati variety of rice. Okay, under this particular unit, we have seen about various scientists, okay, who have developed various techniques which has helped in for the human race to exist and all. Okay, so who's the scientist who developed basmati variety of the rice? So we have read it in the introductory part of this unit itself. So he's none other than M.S. Swaminathan. Okay, so Mr. M.S. Swaminathan is the name of the scientist who has developed basmati variety of rice. Okay, so in the introductory features, we also see about the scientist who discovered blood circulation. Okay, so you recall who is the scientist who discovered blood circulation? So he is none other than William Harvey. Okay, so dash are the defects which the child inherits from parent during birth. Okay, so what are the defects which child inherits from parent during birth itself? Okay, we know various kinds of defects or even diseases which is caused by pathogens, etc. and various other features. So which are the defects which the child inherit from the parent during birth? So they are nothing but the genetic disorders. Okay, so genetic disorders, the children get it from their parent only. They inherit from their parent during the birth. So the answer is genetic disorders. Next, the diseases that are easily transmitted from one person to another are called as what? Okay, so whatever diseases that are being easily transmitted from one person to another, we call them as infectious diseases. Okay, infectious diseases will be easily transmitted from one person to another. That is why we have to be precautious and we have to be very careful when we know the method of how that infectious disease spreads. We have to keep ourselves in a very safe way by taking the precautious measures. So the diseases that can easily be transmitted is called as infectious diseases. Now to concentrate on the topic immunity, children, we know that immunity, okay, it is the one, it is being as the main key factor which elicits the immune response in a particular individual. And this immunity, we have differentiated it into various types. We read that about the various types of immunity. So there are basically two types of immunity which is being given by our immune system. So what are they? So you have to recall that they are the innate immunity and acquired immunity. Okay, so the innate immunity and the acquired immunity are the main two types of immunity. Innate immunity, as the word is telling us, denoting us, it is already present in our body. Okay, naturally it is being present and it is eliciting the immune response whenever it is necessary. And this acquired immunity, again, as the name tells, okay, you can find out the meaning of the particular word, particular thing from the word itself. The acquired immunity, it is being acquired. Okay, it is got through the other methods, like it can be in the form of artificial means too. So the two types of immunity are innate immunity and acquired immunity. So innate immunity is dash type of defense present at birth time. So it is what kind of what type of defense which is present at the birth time itself. Okay, so here you have to remember the specific word called as non-specific. Okay, so it is not of a specific type. It is non-specific type of defense. So it is present at the birth time itself. So what are the proteins that is secreted by virus infected cells? Okay, so there are certain proteins which is secreted by the virus infected cells, and these proteins, if you see, since they are being secreted, it can safeguard our system from the other particular pathogenic system which is trying to affect us. Okay, so it will be giving protection. So these proteins secreted by virus infected cells are called as interferons. Okay, and these interferons, when it is being secreted by these particular virus infected cells, further it will be giving the immunity to the other cells which is being present in a normal manner. Okay, it will safeguard the other cells. So the name of the proteins are interferons. Next pillar, dash immunity pathogen specific, and it is characterized by memory. So which immunity is pathogen specific? So far we also saw about the one which is non-specific. Okay, so when we are talking about the specific thing, okay, which is characterized by memory, is nothing but the acquired immunity. Okay, so this acquired immunity, this one, it is very much specific. It is specific to that particular pathogen. Okay, once it becomes that is when once we face that particular pathogen, second time when we face it again, no, it will be characterized by the memory. Our immune system, it is having a particular type of memory, and due to this memory, it will be eliciting the immune response, okay, by evoking the presence of antibodies and all, as you have seen in this particular section of immunity. Okay, so the answer is acquired immunity, which is pathogen specific, and it's also being characterized by memory. So dash response of acquired immunity is of low intensity. Okay, so just now we saw what acquired immunity is, and in this acquired immunity, there are certain kind of responses. Okay, and in a particular response, a particular kind of, that is the intensity will be low or high and all. So here the question is, dash response of acquired immunity is of low intensity. So if you see, the low intensity is in primary response. Okay, so first time when the particular person is facing the particular pathogenic agent, no, at that time the intensity that is being elicited by our acquired immunity will be low. Okay, so that is the primary response. It's called as primary response. So next one, the dash response of acquired immunity elicits high intensified response. So the next one, which is going to give the, when for the second time, okay, the same pathogen, it meets out with that particular person who has already got this disease. If you see, for instance, that particular response, which is going to give the high intensified response for the second time, okay, that we call it as secondary response. Okay, so this secondary response will be of high intensified nature. So dash and dash are two types of lymphocytes which is present in our blood. Okay, so this immunity, as we saw, it is also when this immune system is eliciting immune response, it is giving that response in various kinds of factors or components. Okay, you know about the one like humoral response and all, and also cell mediated and all. So when we are talking about the one which is cell mediated too, we have to very well know that what are the two types of lymphocytes. They are nothing but the B and also the T. Okay, so B cells and T cells. Okay, they are two types of lymphocytes which is present in our blood, and they are one of the major factors which is responsible for eliciting the immune response in our system. Which are the proteins produced by B lymphocytes in our body to act against pathogens? Okay, so these B lymphocytes, they also produce certain kinds of proteins. Okay, those substances are proteinaceous in nature which is being in our body, and this one, it will evoke the immune response against the pathogens. They are nothing but the antibodies. So antibodies are the proteins which is produced by the B cells in our body. And one of a type of lymphocyte is what they have asked. Okay, dash are a type of lymphocytes. So this natural killer cells are a type of lymphocytes. We come across various other things like cytokines, macrophages, etc. Okay, so no, we know what are all these cells. What is the kind of these things? So under that, if you see, this NK cells called as natural killer cells are a type of lymphocytes. Dash cannot phagocytose and destroy microbes. Okay, there are certain kinds of the cells which cannot phagocytose, and also they cannot automatically, when they are unable to phagocytose, they won't be able to destroy the microbes too. So they are the cytokines. Okay, cytokines cannot phagocytose and destroy the microbes. Okay. So while we were revising the immune system and all, if you see, in that, if you see, basically in our immunity, the immunity which is given by our system, it is of certain types. Okay. And under that, you would have read this particular acid in stomach, saliva, and also the tears. Okay. These things are naturally being present in our body, and whenever it is necessary, it will be secreted and all, is it not? So this one act as what kind of barriers? Okay, so you would have read about physical barriers, physiological barriers, etc. So here, if you see, it acts as the physiological barrier. The acid in the stomach, saliva, and also the tears. So dash coating of an epithelium lining the tracts, okay, and helping them in trapping microbes. So as you know, we have read about various kinds of epithelial tissues. Okay, so these epithelial tissues, they line the tracts and all, like the gastrointestinal tracts, respiratory tracts, etc. So these tracts are being made up of a coating. Okay, so this coating, it is made up of what? Okay, this also helps in trapping the microbes. So it is made up of mucus. Okay, so mucus coating of an epithelial layer lining of the tracts, as I told, like the gastrointestinal tracts, respiratory tracts, etc. They help in trapping the microorganism. So we have seen the Phillips children. So this is how we have to face the fill in the blanks. So now we are going to see about the assertion and reason in part 3. So as I have already told you in my first presentation, while facing the assertion and reason, we have to be very careful. Okay, so in assertion, what they have given is what we have to see, and does the reason support the assertion or not is what we have to see. Okay, and you are going to answer it as A if both assertion and reason are true. Okay, so for knowing this, you have to very well revise the concept of every topic of the chapter. Only then you'll know whether the assertion is true and also the reason is true. Okay, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion is or not. And in the second thing, B, if both the assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion, means then you have to answer B. Okay, give B as the answer. And C is where if assertion is true, but reason is false. Okay, and D if both assertion and reason are false. So this year, children, you people are going to be asked about assertion and reason in your board exam. So be careful in answering that. So here the assertion, our body contains separate T cells for every antigen and the body encounters. And each reason, in reason, we have each T cell recognizes specific antigen. Okay, so we know what is the particular concept about these things. So the answer is if both A, okay, that is if both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. That means we know that our body contains separate T cells for every antigen the body encounters. Each T cell recognizes a specific antigen too. That is being as the correct reason. Okay, and this reason is being the correct explanation for our assertion also. So automatically, children, you'll be answering A. Okay, so be clear with this. So next one, mast cells in the human body release excessive amount of inflammatory chemicals which cause allergic reactions. Okay, this is the assertion. Reason, allergens in the environment stimulate mast cells in certain individuals. So which is the correct answer among this? Guess it. So the answer is going to be A only. Okay, so here you can see that both the assertion and reason are true. That is, mast cells in the human body release excessive amount of inflammatory chemicals. We know that, is it not? We have read that. So this is causing the allergic reaction. And in reason, what have they given? Allergens in the environment stimulate the mast cells. Of course, is it not? So allergens are nothing but the substances that is stimulating the mast cells in the particular individual. Okay, so this is being as the reason is correct and it is giving the correct explanation of our assertion 2. So the answer is A. Next one, in assertion, minerals are not biologically active substances. Next reason, some individuals suffer from anemia due to deficiency of copper. Okay, so you have to find out whether the statement given in assertion is correct and also whether the reason is correct and supports it or not. Okay, so the answer for this is D. Okay, so minerals are not biologically active substances is also not correct, and some of the individuals suffer from anemia due to the deficiency of copper is also wrong. Okay, we very well know that it is due to the deficiency of iron. Okay, so here the answer will be D, which tells that both the assertion and reason are false. Okay. Next, LSD and marijuana are clinically used as analgesics. Okay, reason, both these drugs suppress brain function. So we have under the drug abuse, we have read about various kinds of drugs. Okay, so we also know about the various groupings like that of the opioids and also cannabinoids and all, and which drugs comes under this particular category is all what we have read. Okay, and we also know the function of these drugs, which is the drug that suppresses the brain function or the one which suppresses the central nervous system, etc. Okay, so we have to recall the details that we have read. Okay, so and what is the answer for this? It is the last one, that is the D. Okay, that the assertion LSD and marijuana are clinically used as analgesics is not true. Okay, so they are not used so. And the reason, that is both these drugs, they suppress the brain function is also wrong. Okay, so the answer is D. Okay, so next assertion and reason. The assertion is tapeworm, roundworm and pinworm are endoparasites of human intestine. Okay, the reason is improperly cooked food is the source of intestinal infections. Okay, so these are the various kinds of worm which causes human intestine. Okay, and what is the reason? Improperly cooked food is the source of intestinal infection. So the answer is B. Okay, that means the assertion, that is if both the assertion and reason are true, okay, both these things are true, and the thing, that is the reason, it is not being, that is not being the correct explanation for the assertion, that is improperly cooked food is the source of intestinal infection, of course, but it does not tell how these endoparasites are being present as a causative one for the human intestine. Okay, so the answer is B, that is the both assertion and reason are true only, but the reason is not supporting it. Absolutely, it is not the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, children, so the answer is B. Okay, so this is how you have to answer the assertion and reason. Next, we are going to see about certain short answers. Okay, this lesson, children, it comprises a lot of terms, okay, like what is immunity or even what is cancer. And then we see about various other things like antitoxins and also antibodies, antigens, etc. Okay, so there are a lot of terms that you have to revise properly in order to answer the short answers. Okay, so we'll see some of the one as examples. So which cells help B cells to produce antibodies? Okay, so you very well know that B cells, they can be the reason to produce antibodies. Okay, and these B cells are being given importance by which kinds of cells to produce antibodies. Okay, so the answer is T cells. Okay, so the cells, B cells, it's being present in bone marrow, they are being capable to produce the antibodies, but that is being given the order by the T cells to produce them. Okay, so the T cells, they directly don't produce the antibodies. Okay, children, so this is what you have revised to, and these T cells, just they give the information or they direct the B cells to produce the antibodies. So the B cells produce the antibodies, but the cells which command the B cells to produce antibodies are the T cells. Then, how many peptide chain does an antibody have? Okay, so for this, answering this short answer, you have to be well acquainted with that of the facts of that of our antibody. Okay, so you have to recollect the structure that you have practiced for antibody. So what are the various kinds of chains present in antibody? What are the names designated to those chains? Okay, all those things you have to recollect, and you very well know that the peptide chain, it contains the heavy chains and also the light chains and all. Okay, you very well know that there are two heavy chains and also two light chains, which is made up of peptide, and it also contains disulfide linkages and all. And so here the apt answer is going to be four peptide chains. Okay, the two light chains and also the two heavy chains which make up our antibody, okay, which also has antigen recognition site and all. Okay, how is antibody represented as? Okay, as now we discussed for the last question, antibodies, if you see, they contain two light chains and also two heavy chains. Okay, you hope you recall that, which is in the shape of Y, is it not? So that antibody, it is being represented as H2 and L2. Okay, two heavy chains and two light chains. Okay. As we know the details about immunity to children, which lymphocytes mediate CMI? Okay, cell mediated immunity. It is being mediated by which lymphocytes? Okay, so it is being mediated by T lymphocytes. Okay, this kind of lymphocytes called as T lymphocytes, they mediate the cell mediated immunity. Okay, so as I told, you also know about various kinds of immunity. So they are asking you what is passive immunity. So what is passive immunity? Recall it from the word itself, children. So ready-made antibodies are directly given to protect body against a foreign agent. Okay, so this kind of immunity which is elicited by using this particular ready-made antibodies, no, we call them as passive immunity. You know how this particular ready-made antibodies act too. Okay, so this comes under the category of this passive immunization. So this is known as passive immunity. Then what is colostrum? Okay, so you very well know that, children, that colostrum is nothing but the substance which is being secreted in yellow, okay, as an yellowish fluid by the mother during the initial days of lactation. Okay, and it also contains antibodies. Okay, so next we'll see what are the particular questions in true or false. Okay, under part 5. So a preparation containing antibodies to the toxin is antitoxin. Okay, so we have to know now what are antitoxins. So antitoxin, of course, it is a preparation which contains antibodies to the toxin. Okay, so the answer is going to be true. Next question in true or false. In injections which is given to the patients of snake bites, it contains preformed antibodies against snake venom. This is active immunization. Okay, so this is the question. And you have to go through the question properly. So you know that the answer is false. Okay, because this kind of immunity, we call that as an immunization, we call it as passive immunization. Okay, so just now we saw what passive immunity is. So in injections which is given to the patients of snake bites, which contains preformed antibodies against snake venom, this is passive immunization. Okay, whenever you give false as the answer, know the correct answer and mention that too, if it is being asked in the question. Next one, hepatitis B vaccine is produced from yeast. Okay, so at last, when after discussing the various factors in this lesson, children, we also know what is the particular cure or how a particular disease can be prevented. Okay, now technology, you know very well about the RDNA technology, nothing but the recombinant DNA technology and also the genetic engineering. Okay, where various other factors, okay, in this molecular diagnostic techniques acts. So it is being designed, no, to produce various kinds of vaccines and various kinds of drugs, etc. So for producing these kinds of vaccines, we very well know that certain organisms are being employed, okay, in this particular production. And we also read about the various organisms and what are all the various tools that is vaccine used in this particular production of vaccine and all is what we see. So for that, we need the particular organism to act as a thing where we can produce the vaccine or various other products too. Okay, so here they have given hepatitis B vaccine is produced from yeast. Okay, and it is true. Okay, so hepatitis B, it is being this vaccine, it is being produced by using yeast. Okay, the substance producing allergy is called as antibody. Okay, so it is false. We know that the substance producing allergy is called as allergen. So the answer is allergen. The given statement is false and the answer is allergen. Next, histamine and serotonin are the chemicals released during allergy. Okay, so when the allergy is being caused, okay, by any particular foreign factor, it can be anything like that of the pollen grain or even dander or any particular substance which is being allergic to a particular person. Okay, so this allergy, when it is being created, when it is being caused in a person, our immune system, okay, we also saw that there are the cells called as mast cells which are evoking certain substances, okay, in the form of chemicals called as histamine and serotonin only. Okay, so the given statement is correct. Okay, it is true. Okay, histamine and serotonin are the chemicals which are released, okay, by our immune system when allergy is being caused. Then in part 5, we are going to see about the match the column, children. So we have to match a column. In column 1, they have given about certain things, and also in column 2, we have the details of certain things. Okay, so we have to match the correct one with that of these. Okay, so in column 1, we have steroids. Okay, so how can we relate that to the one given here? Okay, here they have given it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and in this side we have A, B, C, D, and E. So we can match the steroids to what? Okay, now you have to again recollect the various concepts you read for various headings. And the next one, RA, it can be matched to what? Okay, and also bone marrow is the third one. Fourth is the spleen, and fifth is the malt. Okay, so for steroid, it is going to be for so this allergy, it can be cured by giving or employing certain kinds of steroids. Then the second one, rheumatoid arthritis, RA. Okay, it is a kind of autoimmunity. Okay, so for autoimmunity, we know what it is. Okay, our own system, it will be not be able to understand that it is our self cells and which are the foreign agents. At that time, it will be eliciting this response called as autoimmunity. So this rheumatoid arthritis is one of the example of autoimmunity, and it can be matched to autoimmunity. Okay, and then bone marrow. So if you see the lymphoid organs are being differentiated into two types. Okay, primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. And this bone marrow, we know that it comes across under primary lymphoid organ. Okay, and under secondary lymphoid organs, we have certain other things. Okay, like for example, the fourth one, spleen, will be matched to the secondary lymphoid organ. Okay, so this is also one of the secondary lymphoid organ. And this malt, okay, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, it will be coming under lymphoid tissues. Okay, so that is the right answer which is given here. The next one, ma'am, in match the column. So again, we have to match column 1 with column 2 here. Okay, so what will be the answer for HIV with which we have to match it? So it is a kind of retrovirus. Okay, you can match HIV with retrovirus. Then ELISA, okay, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Okay, this test ELISA, it is being as a test to detect AIDS. Okay, so we can match ELISA with AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, next one, cancer. Okay, you can match this with that of the interferon. Okay, so these substances, okay, it will be secreted. Okay, proteinous substances which is secreted when cancer is being caused. Okay, and then we have the kinds of drugs called as opioids and also cannabinoids. Okay, we have to match these two. So opioids, this group of drugs, it will be having certain drugs as given here. Okay, the left out one are heroin and cocaine. So for opioids, the heroin can be matched. Okay, under this it comes And for cannabinoids, the answer is going to be cocaine. Okay, cocaine will come under cannabinoids. So you can check the correct answers given here. Okay, so we have matched the correct one. Okay, children. So we have come to the end of this particular presentation. Okay, about the one words. So prepare accordingly for your test and face it, children. All the best. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, sir. Azad, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kanchana ma'am. You have presented the whole chapter in a very good manner, and you have discussed all type of one mark questions. I have seen all type of one mark question like assertion reason was there, true false was there, fill-ups was there, match the column was there, and as well as one word and multiple choice question were also there. So definitely students who have joined today's session will be benefited from this video, and the students who will watch this video in future also, they will also be benefited from this chapter. So I'd like to thank with the core of my heart, on behalf of One Mark Solution, on behalf of all viewers, Kanchana ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and joining us for the betterment of the students, and hope in future you will also join us, like we are now we are about to complete the chapters of class 12th, and very soon we will start with the chapters of class 11. So definitely class 11th will also you will take some sessions for class 11th students. So thank you one and all. I have shared a live feedback form in the live chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form and get the printable certificate in your email ID. Stay tuned with us, subscribe the channel, like the videos, and share the videos with your classmates, with your schoolmates, with your batchmates, as well as share about this initiative with your juniors also, because we are conducting sessions for class 6 to class 12 in all subjects, in all chapters. So very soon we will be here with some other new chapters. Thank you, Kanchana ma'am. Thank you one and all, and kindly convey my regards to your principal also, who have allowed you to join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.